It's your boy HD. Everybody get up on the dance floor and go, and go, and go crazy. And go crazy. And go crazy. And go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go crazy like a dum-dum. Eastside homeboy, where I come from. Dance on the floor till you go numb. No fighting, no hating, no red rum. This is O City. All the way to the bay, hit the bass, feel me. Catch a case cause it's beating up yo Chevy. Get you moving side to side, getting all sweaty. Make it work it, work it, work it out. Turn the volume up loud. This a draw crowd, make it all shout. Go, 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 go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Hit play on the track and I'm ready. Like a quarterback, Tom Brady. Get you all in the frenzy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go, go, go crazy. Go, go, go crazy. Go, go, go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go, go, go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, go, go crazy. All the way from the O to
What's going on, good people? It is Tuesday, 8:02. Ooh, 8:02. Did we save us a minute on this Tuesday? Yes, we did. Come on now with the time. Save us. It is 8:02 on this beautiful Tuesday evening. It is time for the scoop, y'all. We are so glad that you have decided to carve out a few minutes to come hang out with the crew. Chop it up. We have got a show full of hot and necessary topics on this evening. So please sit back, relax, grab your chargers, send out that "hey y'all, I'm busy" text so they don't bother you, and might as well shoot them the link too. You know what? This where I'm gonna be. Don't talk to me. Talk to me on the scoop, okay? So go ahead and hit that share button while you are getting locked and loaded. What's going on, fam? Glad to see you bright and early on this good Tuesday evening. That's what I'm talking about. But yes, if you would go ahead and get acquainted, like you see our good brother is doing there in the comments. Brother KG is getting acquainted. Go ahead and drop your city and state for us in that comment section and let us know where you're repping. And we like to know just where we're reaching on these Tuesday evenings, because it grows, you know, we out here growing in these podcast streets. So we like to see new faces in the place from time to time, and that's an easy, quick way for us to do that. While you're down there, like I mentioned earlier, please go ahead and hit that share button. Let your people know where you're going to be hanging out and having some good conversation for the next little bit. Okay. We do appreciate you when you do that. Your people are always invited to become our people. But like with any of these types of situations, the more we reach, the more our conversation can grow, the more we learn, the more we get to engage, and it's just better. Okay, so we appreciate you when you hit that share button and share us with the people that mean the world to you. Okay, and we also understand that you might not be able to hang out with us for the entire time. So we would like to extend an invitation for you to join in with the scoop at any time at your convenience. If you don't get to hang out, okay, see,
How you doing? How you doing?
what's going on, Duncan? We would definitely like to extend an invitation to you to lock in with us on all of our social media sites, because sometimes we say some good stuff on here, and when you get back when you get back with your crew, we like you to be able to go back and pull up that replay, slide to the left, baby, slide back to the right, and get to that one good sweet spot of that thing you want to share with your folks. we make that available to you by locking in with us on our social media sites to catch those good replays. Okay, so you can do that by getting these here tags in your mental. Go on and save them to you. Go on, screenshot this right here so you can go ahead and get all your likes and follows in after we finish. But you can lock in with us on YouTube at The Scoop Show, on Facebook at Real Scoop Show, on Instagram at The Scoop Radio Show, and y'all, we are also on SoundCloud now. You can lock in with us on SoundCloud while you're working out, while you're doing your work, while you're doing your daily walks, on lunch, however you like to lock in with us. If when the visual is not available, you can do that on SoundCloud by also following The Scoop there. Okay, so be sure and get all of your likes, hit the bells, the whistles, the thumbs, all of the things that they ask you to hit to make sure that you don't miss the replays as soon as they go live.
Right. You got it.
Okay. I'm like,
oh wait, hold on. You know, no,
I'm not done. Oh wait, there's more. Oh yes. We could not go on with this particular show tonight without giving shout out to our beloved inbox. Okay, and our inboxes stay lit, and it is totally due to our wonderful Scoop viewers. Okay, the engagement that we have gotten with you all here recently has been great, and we appreciate you, and we and also invite you to continue to keep it coming. All right, come on and slide us those posts, send us those links. No spam, but send us the links, your safe links of the conversations that you're engaging in out here in your communities throughout the internets, because we want to talk about them with our group. Okay, and depending upon how good the conversation gets, you just might see them here on the show. Like tonight, I think 100% of tonight's conversation were all inbox, hot topic, posty type conversation. So yeah, slide on in the inbox, and you do always have the option to be anonymous. We actually kind of prefer that. It kind of keeps the conversation easy breezy, real anonymous. Like we just talking about, we just put it up there. You know, we just want to see what the people want to say. Thoughts, our infamous thoughts.
Make you say,
Yeah. So whenever you see straight out of the inbox tag to any of the posts on either of our personal pages or the Scoop page, be sure to chime on in the comments.
Absolutely. Good job. Now you got them.
Okay. How you doing, baby? How you doing?
Good. And listen, I'm ready. Especially this first one, because I got, other than that, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm thinking about the original conversation we had when you shared this week. I was like, I pre-played it.
He's like, oh, okay. And
what are we talking about here? Like, get to the scandal.
What's the problem?
Why are we mad?
People are mad about this?
Hilarious. Y'all, if our inbox stays lit between the two.
That's what we should do. We should charge people to see our inbox. They would be like, this is what y'all.
Now that's some Patreon content right there, but no, because we need a safe place. None of that. Add to that conversation.
No.
Y'all got to get this backstage pass to this. But no, I'm doing really, really well. I've had some super wins at work the last couple days. So your girl's feeling real winning. I'm on a winning streak right now. So it's I like being able to, and I got to kind of give a shout out to the Scoop for the wins, because this platform, this space, this community has stretched and challenged me in ways that has honestly prepared me to have the conversations that I'm having in my workplace in a professional, educated way that has positioned me to really be impactful. And it has been amazing and scary a little bit, but in the good way that lets you know,
you're in the right spot.
Yeah, you in what they say in the church, you in the vein, you in the, like, what is it?
You in the
vein. Okay, I gotta check.
You in the flow. You in the
that
vein.
Ain't my lane, so I want to make sure.
I got you. I will translate for you.
But yeah, so it's been good. So shout out to the originators of my soapboxy spaces, and it allows me to be given this space. So yeah, it's been a good. I'm winning. I'm in a good space today, and super excited for tonight's conversations.
All right, you ready to get him in?
Let's do it. Let's do it,
Like,
baby.
like he said, the first one, she has no clue what's going
I
on.
mean, I do now, but like I'm
I
still
mean,
not as
but,
frazzled dazzled as everybody else is
she was like, I don't get it. What's the anyway? You'll see in a second. So as you all know, last week, we we lost Brother Samuels. We lost Deacon Kevin Samuels, and so the story this week, of course, if you didn't see, Pastor Jamal Bryant in his past Sunday sermon brought up Kevin Samuels passing and made some commentary. So, y'all want to see the video?
Might as well.
Let's show the video. Let's show y'all what Jamal said. That way we ain't got to explain it. Oh, hold on. Don't do this to me. Don't do this, please. Oh, it doesn't want to work. I hate when it does that. Okay. So now I got to explain it. Do I have to explain it? Okay, I just play it. Hold on. If I play it, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, because we don't need to see it necessarily. I need to do it.
Oh, hold on. Here it is. I'll play it then.
You are listening to men who have no authority. How can a man say that you are of low value after 35? How can a man say that you do not have the level of traction of a high-powered man when that man has got to get a GoFundMe for his funeral? Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. You got to be in that place where you operate in the authority of God.
Okay, we'll stop there. So, what happens is several people come out, famous people, T.I., Omarion, a couple of other people. I'm not going to even get into the fact that it was T.I., but nevertheless, T.I. comes to his defense and says that Jamal is wrong for what he has done. Q, go ahead.
Why are you thinking to me now? You're wrong. What kind of segue?
I'm trying not to get lit. I'm like, so what you think? Like, should he have not? Okay, let me try this better. Should he have not said something? Should he say
was
something?
trash,
Like,
bro. We was wrong for that. But no, I mean, I'm good, but like, that was wrong. So, I mean, so this is from the Christian perspective of you don't speak ill of the dead. He was wrong. I asked after understanding why everybody was mad, after getting to why everybody was mad, because I honestly agreed with what he said in the sermon. Like, I had no issue with what he said. So after that, I was like, oh, it's the fact that he's passed. So then I asked, has he ever spoken on Kevin Samuels before? Like, has he ever made comments that have gone anyway viral? Like, do we know if there have been any sermons that he's spoken of over time? So I don't think anything he said before has gone viral in any way regarding Kevin Samuels, but I don't know if anyone has also gone into a deep dive of every sermon he's had to say if he's ever mentioned it, because he's been around for a while, so we don't know. And Pastor Jamal Bryant is pretty tapped into our culture, so I would be hard pressed to say that he's never referenced something that's been going on with Kevin Samuels before, but it just may not have gone viral. So for the fact that this might be the first time that the public has heard him reference Kevin Samuels, I can see why it's like, well, why now? Like, this is why, if you had all this to say that was sermon worthy, why wait until after the man is passed away? But even with all that being said, I don't prescribe to the whole, once a person passes away, you can never mention the negative that they were or what they did to people in life. I think that is trash. I think that is the most disingenuous way to honor a person. And it's very disrespectful to those who are living who may have experienced the very terrible parts of a person. So that's why I was like, but he did though. Like that's what's wrong with that. So but I think from just a why now perspective, I thought that was trash. That now you got something to say when that man was alive, and he would have clapped back had you had said something, had you had called him out just 2 weeks ago. He would have had plenty to say about these here comments that you're making. So that does seem kind of why, I can see that.
Yeah, I thought from a timing perspective, it was terrible. Again, seeing it was so close to when it actually happened, that was really like, if you have we've talked about our opinions about him and all that stuff, but just the timing that it was when it was bad. So, and again, understanding context, like I said, who's in his audience, all that stuff, the fact that they're in the same city, to your point, like you said, the fact that all of this, like, I get it. Yeah. I think it was more so just the timing of it and what he said. I think really if it's like an out of bounds, the comparing it to him having to get a GoFundMe, like that part.
Yeah, that
probably was the part. Like, to say that you don't listen to him, I don't think was the problem. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have a problem with the man with somebody saying, why are you listening to this man who don't know what he talking about? So. Mm-hmm. I can understand that. Now,
the GoFundMe was not even sponsored by his family. Like, right. Some supporters or fans or whatever, some fake pages created the GoFundMe. So that that was also some extra. Like,
it was
bro,
like $50,000 they raised, and his family didn't refuse to take it.
They took it back. Yep. So, and yes, Tanya, he did apologize.
He did apologize. I was gonna say, and I said he actually did apologize. I would play it, but it was long. It's a long apology. I'll put the link in the comment, but he actually did. And I will say what I was impressed by. I was impressed by the apology, because the apology was just as voracious as his criticism. So he did it, but I think again, initially it shouldn't have been something that should have been said. You kind of went too far, bro. Mm-hmm. But again, he apologized. So let me see what some of the comments. D said, was it wrong or was it socially unacceptable? Yeah, again, I think the GoFundMe part was wrong. And again, the timing. Jamie says, I'm still grabbing my imaginary pearls. KG says that comes for Kevin throwing shade at the church. Yep.
Possible.
Yeah, possibly, yep. He didn't get the proper information before he spoke. Yep, as we all do sometimes. He has his opinions about as well about Samuels because he drugged him before. Maybe he supposedly had by a young member of his. Okay, it was probably a little payback, if you ask me, but make it known that he apologized. Yep.
Okay.
I think it's about honor. I think it's about bad juju. He was wrong for not fact checking the info he put out. That was not true. Jamal was pandering per usual. Did he not apologize? He did. Yep. GoFundMe was a low blow. It was a clapback. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was. I didn't know about the thing, whatever he said about him having a child, but that wasn't. Several people have said that about him too. So it's
and that's if you had the child, did he have the baby by the girl?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm like, you can't be mad when people call you out for the stuff that you actually did. So you just be mad, but you ain't gotta be mad and loud about it. Like, you did that shit. So like what you want us to.
Yeah, I did that one.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not and I think that's even for you listen, y'all. I'm not famous, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm not Jamal Bryant level or anything, but when people call me out of my stuff, I'll be like, "Yep, that one was me. That one was me." I think that's okay. I think it's that one was me. I did that. I think there's a level of authenticity that should come. But it's embarrassing. Some stuff is embarrassing, but if you did it, you did it.
It's out there now.
Look, I'd be like, it wasn't the last thing y'all gonna find out crazy.
Right, like
So let's just get buckle up.
mm. Hope you got your college rule paper out, because you don't need to.
Listen, because between 97 and 2001,
Yeah.
and there was some stuff after that too, but nevertheless, uh, yeah. We say that's lame. He did that to hype up someone in his congregation, and that's irresponsible. Yeah, it was. Hey, I know it was wrong. I might clap back. Also, we never know what or how we'll respond. And that's real.
Because we are human.
That's real. We are human. Yeah. This is why I said, like, I appreciated his response. You know, if I will say this, if there's one thing that I can say about from what I do know, I don't know very well about Jamal, is he good at apologizing. That man be like, yeah, I messed it up, so I give him credit for that.
Because he know he just do a lot. He talk real fast and quick. You know, he knows he's a man of quick words, many words, quick, many words, and that requires a whole lot of humility when somebody calls you back out on your stuff. You got to.
So, all right, a little more somber on this one. So this past weekend was rough. We had in Buffalo.
Excuse me.
Out of Buffalo, we had a mass shooting in Buffalo, New York, where we had 10 people deceased, 3 people wounded. So there's a young man who drove 200 miles.
A young terrorist who
200 miles to find a predominantly black area that he could shoot, so he could shoot as many black people as he could. He walked into a grocery store and did just that, started shooting people. Before, of course, he was nicely detained and arrested, taken to jail. Oh, by the way, he was persuasion, and he had assault rifle. Yeah. So, yeah, I just still understand again how we're, walking in grocery stores in full tactical gear, like KG just said, and killing black people. And then if you saw the video, you saw that he was purposely not shooting other white people. Even apologized in the video when he pointed the gun at a white person. And yeah, I'm just.
Didn't he like go into the store and purchase something, like go get weight checked out and then came back in or something? Like I heard a eyewitness interview where he had like come into the store, bought something, was checked out, and then came back in and did all of that. Yeah. Tragic nonetheless if he had become a customer or it was just terrorizing the store. But I was listening to something before we got started today, and I just wrote down the stat that was just like, say what to me. In 2021, the United States had a total of 693 mass shootings. In 19 weeks of 2022, we have had the Buffalo shooting was the 198th mass shooting in the United States. That when broken down, that is on average 10 attacks per week. This is just what we do at this point. It's sad. It's devastating. It's traumatic. It's going to be felt for much longer than the time that we're going to give it in our conversation, our prayers, our cares. But this is what we do. This is America. At this point, this week I've seen quite a few of my friends say, why are we not talking about this? Why are we not more outraged? Why are we, and we meaning like the African American community, why are my friends not talking about this? Why have I not seen this? I know we got new music this weekend. I know, we had awards this weekend, but like, why are we not talking about the devastation of this past weekend? And I feel that. I didn't even know that this had happened. Like my life, I was at the shop all day Saturday. Sunday I did running around, but like I had gotten no updates. I had seen only the few times I checked social media, I saw prayers to Buffalo, but like no links, no description. No one was talking about, and even those prayers to Buffalo just had like sad face reactions. There was no conversation being had until I happened to log on to YouTube scrolling Sunday night and saw the ABC News story and was like, "Wait, what?" And saw that saw the details of it. And so when I saw that and realized that no one that I'd even encountered had mentioned this happening, and then the people that I know in my life and in my circle on my feed that I follow that would have usually been all over this just had. And I thought, we tired.
We are very tired.
Tired. Like we are to a point of it's not desensitized. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. We're not desensitized. There we go. To what's happening. It's just why we want to. What is there left to say that's going to be new or different or mean the thing that's going to shit? Like what? And to who? To each other? Like, obviously, the people on our feeds already get it. So, like, who are we? Why do that to ourselves? To inflict that much trauma consistently, knowing what these algorithms do? I get it. We're tired. And this is it's such a duplicitous feeling of care, but I can't at the same time because we know what this is going to,
because what it does.
Yeah, we know in 7 to maybe 10 days
ain't nothing gonna happen.
We're gonna be talking about something else, or we're gonna be dead into our next attack. Yep. 10 a week. We'll be talking about the next one. Maybe.
We still dealing with the one here in Grand Rapids, so it's
right. It's just a lot, and my prayers and my heart and my spirit is with that community, and it's a lot. It's heavy. This is just heavy. Like this, being in this skin, experiencing this, walking through work and not having anyone, like just the disconnect while being absolutely connected at the same time. We weren't built for this.
Nobody is.
Yeah.
Nobody's built for this. And I think the part that that enrages me still is, like today I was scrolling and I had to tell myself to stop expecting my my white colleagues, the people on my timeline to respond, because I'm thinking at some point, like, y'all gonna say something, like y'all go, but I had to tell myself today, like, you are setting yourself up for failure.
Yep.
So stop doing that. Stop expecting it. And I will say, I'm not saying nobody hasn't said it, but it's like, where is it? Even for the one, Patrick Loyola here in Grand Rapids, like nothing. We're just, and so my heart breaks, because on the one hand, I'm saying, how do you expect us to try to have any sense of community when you can't even mourn when we're in the middle of something like this, or to do something, or to think that this shouldn't be like all you doing? You're gonna go through the same normal rhetoric, and then you're gonna go right back to, you're gonna tell us to pull up our bootstraps, blacks killing blacks, guns ain't the problem, yada 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 yada, and then you're gonna go back to work. We're gonna take a deep breath and keep going.
Yep.
My heart breaks also for us because, like, I don't care what anybody says. This is traumatic.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
traumatic as hell, and like there is no way in the world this is really like mental. This is a mental war and a mental attack that is happening to us. That my hope now here is my hope though. My hope is that you and I have been talking for a while about what is it going to take for us to turn this corner and shift to going harder for unity amongst especially like black men and black women and black relationships like that this is going to help do this because even with this stuff happening I'm seeing more and more of these conversations of unity and more of these conversations of together and more conversations about trying to understand each other differently and better but it's really gotta like it really has to happen faster because the only way for us to deal with the trauma that we are experiencing is together.
Mhm. And I
That's it.
hope that we recognize that that is essentially what we're doing as a country and as a community. Silence, this non-verbalness that we're experiencing all together is a trauma response.
Mm-hmm.
That happens after shock and you've gone through something that is core shaking. After so much of experiencing a certain level of abuse or pain or just trauma, there is a level of disengagement that begins often before a break takes place and sometimes a breakthrough. There are stages of grief, there are stages of healing, there are stages of escalating trauma. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't really know if we're intersecting these things or if we're on a total separate timeline waiting to transition to yet another. But
Yeah.
I just again I say we're tired.
Yeah.
But I really hope that we are in our pockets of peace are finding ways to educate ourselves and find those safe places of people that we trust to help
Absolutely.
care for us so that
Absolutely.
we can learn how to break through each other
Yep.
before
Yep.
that break happens. Because,
Yep.
like, I got goosebumps thinking about some of the ways that I've heard people talk about the overall feeling of just being human and engaging right now. And
Mm-hmm.
like that break is going to be bad and
Mm-hmm.
not just for them, but it's when that kind of break happens, it affects everything. That's one of them burn it all down type of
And
feelings.
that's it.
So yeah, I'm mad you hit this on number 2. Damn.
Well, we gotta go.
From
Listen,
Jamal and
we
Kevin.
gonna go up. We going up. Don't worry. I mean, we gotta address the shooting.
You're right, we do, but
So
I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be
yeah.
crying in a minute.
I will, and so I know we got to move on, but it also, I don't know if you also saw. So even though we had this one, there were also like 4 other ones this weekend.
Yeah, this was not just the only thing that happened this week. Right. This
Like
weekend in 2 days.
you had another one in California where a man opened fire during a lunch reception at a church. 1 dead, 5 injured. You got one in Houston at a flea market, killing 2, injuring 3. You had one, and then you had another one in Winston-Salem where 6 people are injured. Somebody just drove up and started shooting.
Mhm. Mhm. And wasn't the one in California was the man who was killed was the security guard that stepped in front of the guy and the churchgoers. There was I saw the image. There was
Churchgoers,
like 4 or 5. It was an Asian church
the
that was
churchgoers are the
attacked, and
ones who they
they're
got
the
him.
ones who subdued the man. And the
Yep,
dude, the person who passed away was one of the security guards who was trying to block. He stood in front of and was trying to protect the people. But yeah, yeah,
yep, yep,
yeah,
yep.
yep.
So we've got
Yep, Tanya. Yep.
yep. It's we
which
This
is why I say this is what we do. It's not just them coming for blacks and all of that other stuff. That's not it. This is just the state of our country.
yep. So I just wanted to put that out there. Yep, we don't have to. Yeah, you're right. I don't. Yeah, as I think it was Dr. King that says, um, you can't legislate hearts,
Yeah.
because the solution is you got to change hearts. You got to change the hearts of people. People's hearts are wicked, and you got to change that. Or I mean, more guns, less guns. Neither one of those is the solution. So it's like more guns just mean more people shoot. Less guns mean the wrong people shoot. So it's like I don't know.
Yep. Much bigger issues than just the tools we use to do the destruction.
All right, let's get into some relationship stuff. Whew.
Yes,
All right,
please.
we good? All right. All right, so this is one that was posted this week. Now you shouldn't, KG. It says, if you love too hard, just stay single because people in this generation don't appreciate that anymore. If you love too hard, just stay single because people in this generation don't appreciate that anymore. Thoughts?
Mm-mm.
Your comment on this, and I cracked up because I didn't expect you to comment on this one when I
Oh,
posted. But go ahead, tell us your thoughts.
I said this is passive aggressive. And you're not supposed to love everybody the same. This is not taking accountability for you doing too much. And what, did you laugh because it was like 2 sentences? Probably the shortest response I've ever given on a relationship post.
All right.
Yeah, but I mean, like, this is passive aggressive. If you love too hard, just stay single because people don't in this generation don't appreciate that. What are you even saying? What are you people that's not loving too hard. No, people like space. People like boundaries, and people are very, very comfortable communicating said needs of space and desire for boundaries. So if that bothers you, that's a you problem. I'm sorry. That is not a generational thing. I'm gonna need you to just do better. And I love how Damon, he followed up my comment with saying, like, even the fact that you're admitting that it's too hard, like the description in and of itself lets you know you're doing too much. Too hard. If I look too hard, that is too much. Like, you are doing too much. And that's not most people are not going to appreciate that unless they too are lacking to the point where it's an issue that they require someone to love them hard. Like, what? Yeah. And y'all know I'm a lover. I am the Care Bear of Care Bears, but nah, this ain't it. This ain't it.
So my analytical self is like, okay, first of all, what does it mean to love too hard? Yeah. Because does this mean the way I interpret this was, after I did all that, was this is a person who doesn't like go through any type of process. Use your love to make a time.
If that's the generation you love so much, deuces, go back there.
Yeah. Right there. It's like I think that there are like, and I can admit that I have been like this as well. It's been the type of person who like falls fast type of thing. Mm-hmm. So when you do, you just go all out for them without any type of like, there's no process that you're going through. So you're just giving all your goodness to every single person who comes in your life. And a lot of that really comes from a internal deficit that we have that says, like, I want to be loved. So I think that I have to love like this in order for someone to love me back. Right. And when you get to a point where you recognize that, no, I don't have to overperform. I don't have to, check all the boxes and be perfect and do this and do that in order to be deserving of love. Then you can be able to say, now look, again, I might even have a deep affection for said person, but we just met 2 weeks ago. Something is wrong. I need to check myself and figure out why after 2 weeks and 4 phone calls, I'm ready to risk it all. That's a problem. That's problematic. And so I think we have to come up with Katasha on the post says good boundaries, but I think we have to come up with really good internal and a higher level of emotional intelligence for us to really be able to comprehend what we're feeling, why we're feeling, and how we're going to process our emotions, handle our emotions, and how we're going to act when we have a certain emotion. Because just because I feel this way doesn't mean that I should act this way. I should really interrogate why I feel the way I feel, what's really going on. Again, does this person, and I hate to use this word, deserve this, whatever I'm trying to do? Like, I shouldn't be trying to looking to pay your bills after 2 weeks. Like, these are just all kinds of things that we do when we love too hard. No, ma'am. No, sir. You're not loving too hard.
This person has written off an entire damn generation.
Right. And that part too. I didn't even get to that part. Now that's a whole separate issue. So yeah, again, I think a lot of times, a lot of us enter into y'all use the word. There's a lot of we get desperate. I think it's a lot of people who are desperate to be loved and who want to be loved so badly that at times we will compromise and love too hard. And I say that not discounting, discounting the people who've been heartbroken and things like that. I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah. And there are people who are not here for the traditional idea of what relationships have been. You know what I mean? There are some people, if this is a person who's a traditionalist who wants to do all of the things that this, whatever gender the person is that wrote it, because I can't figure it out based on this post. But, if you have an affinity for the way things were when people just went with it, when there was a status quo and, everyone did the same thing, and that's not what's happening right now. So I can see where there is a group of people, even those of us that are our age, that just it worked for them or it was comfortable for them is what they know. They're not happy with the state of affairs right now, as far as relationships are concerned. So in a way, they do see all of those duties and boxes that used to be checked in within the roles and the things that we do to be somebody's person don't hold the same weight that they used to, by and large, because we've identified new things that are now important or have more value, or just said that just why. And why we don't want to do that. So that transition has been hard for a lot of people. But what I would like to say to those people is you are not alone. You're just going to have to do a little diligence to find your tribe. They exist. They find our posts often. I suggest you guys live it up. They're out there. You just gotta find your people because they're available. But I'm not gonna say all of what we say and not say like I get it, because things have changed. It's changed fast and it's changed loud. And
if you came in expecting the same thing, we talk about that. Like, we talk about that often, like from even like when we were in high school and whatnot. And you talked on the phone, you wrote letters, you did. Now they like, give me your IG handle or give me your Snapchat, and they talk that way. Like, I'm like, y'all will talk on the phone? No, we just talk through Snapchat. Okay.
I think all three of my kids might use 250 minutes total every month between them, and that's talking to us because we are the only people that call them.
We were the phone. Like my parents would like my parents would pick up the phone. Are you still on my phone? Get off my phone so I can use my phone. I gotta go. My mom needs to use the phone.
Yes.
That's just
you hang up. No, you hang up. You hang up. No, you hang up. They will never know nothing about that. No. Now they just fall asleep on FaceTime.
Yes, they do that. They'll do that.
I done killed so many FaceTime calls. I don't know. It's been so many little girls. I know if they recorded this. Turn this shit off in the middle of the night. One random blue light onto the screen. Go to damn bed. Be talking to the screen. I am totally of that mother, okay? Because it doesn't make any sense. Hang up. Just sitting there looking at y'all drool and snore. Hang up the damn phone. Do it. Sorry, y'all, but if you got a teenager, you know what I'm talking about, and that's stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. The love doesn't have to be hard. It's like that dumb saying, falling head over heels in love. That sounds like it hurts. How about we just walk in love and then enjoy the trip until we get to the destination? Yeah.
Oh, that's poetic.
Right. That was the most poetic thing I think I've ever seen KG say.
Man, like, oh.
Yeah. Yes, things have most definitely changed. I wouldn't. Yeah. Stop swinging my phone. Oh my God. Woo! Shade. Listen. The number of
stretching it, swinging it.
Phone cord be all.
I used to do dishes on the phone. Everybody got to do limbo under the. Lord, I was so excited for cordless phones. Jesus.
Okay. Love is a will, not a feeling. Yes. Yes, we know. Fall asleep on FaceTime with his great case right on it.
Nasia does that with the murals up the. I'm positive my youngest, my baby is gonna be inked up like soon. Like as soon as she can sit in somebody's chair, she will be inked up because this baby comes home with a new canvas. She is her canvas. I buy canvas.
She does it to herself though.
She does it to herself, and then she has friends who do it. Like it's a community project, okay? Like she becomes it's a thing. My mama used to get on if I wrote a number, like what are you putting? Like no.
Look, I'm like, you gonna get lead poisoning. You gonna get
all of those things. Like we were parented by fear. Like there is so much. I found out. No, wait a minute. Now my mama might watch this replay later. But did your parents tell you to turn the rear view, the little dome light things off because it was against the law when you was driving?
It's not.
It ain't a damn law.
No,
you know that ain't a law. Don't nobody care if your dome light is on when you're driving. The parents just don't like that. I done told my kids that mess. I done got my babies thinking it's a lot of drive with the damn. I had to come in and say, y'all, I don't like it. Don't do it. But it ain't against the law. Don't tell my grandbabies that that's against the law. That ain't against the law. No, Shanae, it's not against the law. You can do what you want to with your damn dome light in your car.
Not against the law.
Parks, driving, otherwise, that's your light, baby. Do what you want to with your life.
Yep, not against the law. Sorry.
So yeah, we have our own issues. We're being our generation. We have our own reasons to be on the couch. So we gonna leave these babies alone for what they figuring out on their couch. Because our parents definitely put us on enough couches all by themselves. Like we can.
Oh God. Wait, what is this? Okay, let me keep going.
Making them up, sis. Making them up out of convenience. All we needed to hear it was against the law, and that's all we needed.
That's all we need.
Turn that light off.
I think this is the right one. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, here it is. All right. So I said, the post says people want intimacy. People think intimacy is about sex, but intimacy is about truth. When you realize you can tell someone your truth, when you can show yourself to them, when you stand in front of them and their response is, "You're safe with me," that's intimacy. And I responded, "This is what we all want and need. We were not created to do life alone, but in community. Intimacy is not reserved for romantic relationships, but for every part. We need each other. Let us uplift one another and be people of grace and truth."
Yes.
That's what Q does after she watched a couple Sarah Jakes episodes.
Oh, absolutely. Not after. All throughout. That is my consistent stanks. You better preach this face. Oh my goodness.
So when you get that face, you say something.
Mm-hmm. You preach it real good. Yeah, but this is it. This is the word. And I don't know if people really get that all of our relationships are important, that intimacy is necessary for our humanity.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Mm-hmm.
how we are wired. We are
Mm-hmm.
social beings. There is no just me by myself. Oh, like that is not how we're built.
Right.
And the way that we disregard and um, have prioritized reducing the will to care
Yes.
and connect is
Yes.
totally out of order of how we are just wired, regardless of what you believe, who you pray to, who you lay with,
Mm-hmm.
who you like a little bit or like a lot, or like none at all. That is what we are wired to do,
Mm-hmm.
to connect, to dig, to we are
Mm-hmm.
not surface beings. That's why we have so many. I feel that is why we have so many different ways to connect with each other. We have sight, we have touch, we have communication, we have written work. We have all of these opportunities to communicate, to learn, to share. And we are losing languages. We're stopping ways of writing. We're literally not teaching whole generations certain ways of communicating. We are not taking care of our elderly so that we can continue to pass down stories and experiences in history. That's intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
Laying on Big Mama's lap and getting our hair braided and cooking in the kitchen and hanging out on the stoop with that is our intimacy. That is our family. That is what we are built on. So like, and not just Black folks, people.
People. Yeah. That's
Like, so
humanity. That's not a
it is bigger than just the, so yeah, like I need my friends. I need my friends. I am excited to make new friends. I prioritize their needs same as I prioritize mine in many many ways because they are as part of me as I feel that we are experiencing this thing together, not in the same ways that I do it with my spouse, but if my friend needs me, I'm going to do everything I can to feel the need. You know what I mean? Like, and that matters to me because I know that I don't need that. And Shanae's doing, and she's feeling because we recently had one of these moments, but like, I don't need that right now. I don't need that real time. You needed me. I'm gonna just be there. And because we've created this connection in this relationship, I know that you got me. I don't need this right now. Ooh, what did you do that for me? That's what's been so driving me crazy here lately. Ooh, what I get out of this? Nothing. It wasn't for you right now. Like you didn't need nothing.
what you got
Right?
out of it was you were a good human. That's what you got.
Nothing. So
You were a good human. That's
yeah,
what.
like you just wanted to get because it was some getting to get. Like there was nothing for you because they needed right now. So like I loved this quote. I loved this post. I loved your caption. I thought, yes, this is why we do this. This is why we have so much relationship talk. This is why we ask to dig so much deeper and that because all of these relationships matters. The baby mamas, the baby daddies, the stepmamas, the stepdaddies, the grannies, the aunties, the uncles, the people at the workplace. All of these people matter because you deal with these people every damn day. Like these are your community. So like you can't exclude, you can't segregate, you can't say, oh, I ain't. Yes, you are. Like, you are.
Yep.
Woo.
Yep. Yep. I think before I respond, let me say so. KG, your comment says that intimate isn't about trust for everyone. I have been intimate with someone who I don't trust in a time of vulnerability because of their proximity and the need for closeness and a connection to someone. My response to that was, in that moment, you did trust them, or in that moment, they trusted you. So because we said there's levels to this idea of trust, but it's just that in that moment, you felt whether it's because of proximity or because of vulnerability, but there was a feeling of this is a place where I can do this. So on that level, that's where, in that context, there was a level of trust. But there is not. You're correct. There's like you just said. There's a difference between the safeness that I'm going to feel with your wife versus the safeness you're going to feel with somebody who might be a coworker or something like that, because the shared experiences are not the same, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there are. I think when I saw this, what I was really thinking through was the necessity for us to remove, especially men, remove the idea that we can't articulate that we don't feel when we don't feel safe.
Yeah.
Because I've had several conversations with several men this week, and as I'm talking through them, the root of the conversation is I don't really feel safe expressing that I have a need.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, why? If this is the person or these are the people that you do life with, why do you not feel safe? And in some instances, it's been because I have not demanded, or I have not made it seem like, I've made it seem like that I don't need this, that I can do this, that I find safety in making sure other people are safe. I'm like, that's not how that works. There are some things that you need that they need to respond to, just like there's some things that they need that you are responding to. So to remove this idea as a man that I can't say today I just don't feel strong and I need you to do ABC. I need 1, 2, 3 to happen this week in this family, and I can't do it. Like, as a man, I have to be able to do that. And of course, we can get into why it's so hard, but it's just really a need, for that I'm like really wanting men to step into, to be able to say, like, I need something that's not sex.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you need sex, it's okay to say that, but but there's more to us than that. Like, I need to feel like right now I can tell you something that might hurt your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be able to tell you that, this is a hard week and I'm scared I'm gonna lose my job. Like, I need to be able to say those kind of things, because now and the result of that typically is the partner that you have is going to, again, it's going to create a deeper level of intimacy if we're talking about a man saying this to his wife, because now she feels like you've let her into a space that previously you've locked out, hence deeper intimacy. Mm-hmm. And she feels like she can reciprocate by letting you into places that she's probably locked you out of, because now she sees, okay, we going into these rooms.
Yep. Yep. And we to speak to what your post said about, even outside of the realm of romantic relationship, I think we also must challenge ourselves to become more emotionally mature as far as who we have conversations with, where we have these conversations, and what context we're willing to provide to have a healthy conversation. Because this shock value, meme it up, 1 or 2 sentences to get you hooked, to say hard or important or tough things is not working. It's not working for businesses. It's not working for personal relationships. It's not working for schools. It's not working for government. It's not working. Use more words, use more adjectives, the feeling words, the descriptive words that actually help people better understand what it is you're saying, that helps fill in gaps. People don't know. Everyone hasn't experienced. Everyone hasn't engaged the same. So, like, we have to give each other the space to get there. And when they aren't automatically there, give them time. If you've gone through all of the sharing to get all the stuff out and people have further questions, the last thing you want to do after putting all of your business out on this thing is to be like, don't ask, like, what do you mean you don't get it? I need more. Like, I'm trying. You know what I mean? Like, you got me all the way here and you're just going to say, figure it out. I can't, because this is your thing now. I need you to help me because I want to. I'm invested now. Like, help me figure it out. And if I'm challenging you, it's not necessarily in a space of disagreement. It's because I'm trying to make this connect in a way that I can feel it the way that you're trying to feel it. That's empathy. That's trying to not say, yes, I've done that too, but oh, okay. I can identify with how that could have made you feel that way. And okay, how can we fix that? You know what I mean? It's not saying, oh, I've done that, or ooh, nope, I don't have no understanding of that, so I can't connect to that. Like you said, nope, ain't done that yet for a lot of folks yet. So you're being willing to get down through there in the nitty gritty with someone while they're going through could either save you or prepare you, or for when you might, or someone that you love real deep might, and you could help them in that. That's how those unknown and uncharted connections come to play.
Yep.
It's worth it.
Yep. I was going to say also too, I think, I'm sorry, KJ's comment made me have a thought, and I just need to write that down. But I think that we also have to in those moments also recognize that I think the key thing that you said was provide certain context. Because we're not always giving the context for the thing that we're asking for, and so a lot of times we're not even able to get the intimate level of intimacy we need because we don't recognize the seriousness of the context.
Yep.
So like, we have to be willing even in those other relationships to say that. And I like how KG said microwave messages aren't cutting it. I think that's absolutely correct. We do not. This type of thing cannot be handled in 140 characters. No. So it's like you have to realize that these are things that take time to build. If we're talking, and I'm talking about in the context of deep trust, not like a situational trust, but in a deep trust, I have to be able to have some depth. I have to be able to see some layers to you. I need to see how you respond in certain things before I'm able to let you into a level of depth of my life and of my heart that I just don't let, you just don't let anybody in.
You can't give a situation, you can't set up a situation in 2 to 3 sentences and then get mad when folks don't give it 2 or 3 minutes of focus, I'm gonna mill this around for a minute. If you didn't give it more thought than that, why you want me to give you this long thought for? Yeah, you didn't think about it. Like, you didn't let me in to this train. I'm watching this bad boy go by. 2 to 3 sentences, that bad boy is spinning. It ain't even stopping to pick up nobody. You know what I mean? Like, that is, it's going. So like, you can't, that is a really high expectation when you didn't give folks the tools to do what was needed. You know?
Absolutely. Let me back up. Shanae says, I was like that until I met Q. I'm safe with her and feeling melts away. I don't understand that as a man, but for me, Q, it is that everything. So I feel once you find someone you're genuinely safe with, you'll know.
Yeah, I think I know what she's trying to say in that. But yes, but also for those who don't know, me and Shanae did not get along when we first met. The Q and Shanae that you all see engaged back and forth, this is a few years in the making. So like, we had to have miscommunications and flat out before we could take a break and come back totally new. Like, I remember when we first started talking again, and our message went, "Hey, is this the same? Is this the same Shanae that you?" Yep. So like, that had to, like, so that's been work for both of us. And that, to me, the reason why we can say that we love each other the way that we do is because we've done the work to actually get to know each other. I know Shanae at her most because that was the side that I was like, oh no, that ain't gonna work with how I get down. Like, and she would also bring out those parts of me. So in in those moments, I also learned to work through that part of my personality. So after we took that break, we could come back together and have conversations, ask questions, have ways of connecting, and we still do not always agree. There are times I see sisters posting and have to say, nope, scroll sis, scroll sis, scroll sis. I swear to God I do, and I just keep it moving. And I know that she probably feels the same way about me, you know, but that is the way that we have learned to coexist. But she knows if she needs me, she can slide in that inbox and I got her, and vice versa, because we've done it. So like that is why and so yes, you'll know when you know. And it didn't just say, okay, you're gonna be my friend. Done. Like that is absolutely not how it happens. So you're not gonna always agree. You're gonna have some moments where me and you, I'm gonna need a minute. And I'm gonna come back. But that is what community is. You know what I mean? Some of the worst fights happen at Sunday dinner, but you can guarantee everybody gonna be back next Sunday. You know what I mean? Because that's what we do. And we're gonna talk about it maybe Tuesday, you know, but we'll have that thing worked out so we can get that menu ready. We can get to the grocery store by Friday. So Big Mama can have what she need on Sunday. That is community. You know what I mean? And I think that's intimacy. That's what we need. Yeah. That's intimacy.
Yeah. I posted last week, I said that friendships can handle disagreements. So as a matter of fact, friendships are built through disagreements done well and the adversities that you overcome. So I think that's really what it boils down to. So, good job. And I'm so glad y'all two found each other.
That's my girl. Yeah, my girl. Yep. Nope.
All right.
Strong willed.
That's why I enjoy it. All right, let's go ahead. Second half. Come on. Let's go ahead and do these ads real quick. And we're going to keep it going. So, Elegance by Design.
Wash day has never been so simple, sis. Let's be honest. Rarely is spending a day bent over the sink and stuck under the dryer considered ideal for self-care. We got things to do, okay? So get back to it and trade those 5011 products for 3 of our best-selling staples for your basic hair care needs. Cleanse and condition your curls with our super rich, deliciously citrus-scented quench shampoo and conditioner, and lock in that bounce and shine with our Do Me Daily moisturizing cream that gives your curls a proper stage to show out no matter how you decide to style. Grab yours today at Elegance by Design.
She was playing and then went off. You should have stayed off me.
Who are you talking to?
You.
I have not said a word the entire time you have been
going. I heard the commercial going. I'm like, why are you stopping?
I haven't stopped anything. I muted my mic and watched the screen. I don't know.
That wasn't you giving the commercial?
No, the commercial was giving the commercial.
Oh, it just shows like it's low though. My end, it don't even show that it's
playing. We done had the whole ad play. I don't know what you talking about.
Did the whole thing play for real?
Yes. When you started talking, I was like, where is he talking to?
On my screen, it never played. It was just circling. I'm like, why is it circling?
He's always messing up again. I'm like, what's messing? I'm looking at Medina. I don't know what you're looking at. I'm hearing me. I'm seeing sis. Like, I don't know what that is.
So, it was just, I'm like, what?
Oh, my God. Oh, y'all go get you some quench. Some Do Me Daily from Elegance. Lord. I'm
like, what is wrong with this thing? It's just circling.
Y'all could have seen my face. I swear, I was over here. I was leaned in. I'm like, is he talking to Jay? What is he talking to? Then it tells me your mic is muted. I'm like, I know. Like, I hit the button.
No, because I unmuted you because it was like I heard it. I thought it was coming from your computer. Then I'm like, why is she muted? I couldn't.
Y'all, we need a producer. Send us somebody. Share us with a producer. Share this show with the producer people.
Save me. Right. Save me, please. We dropping the Patreon next week. I can't do this. No.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
We're gonna get us a Patreon and be like, after we get so many people, we're gonna get us a producer. Because
Man, like
this is not listen, I'm not anointed for this.
we need to make them agents. We need agents. I've been waiting to use that since you shared that with me. I've been waiting. Okay, y'all. Okay. This was not how the second half of the show was supposed to start.
Oh God. Okay. Whew. Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna leave him alone. I'm gonna let him rest. Go ahead.
Oh God, I got a whole tear coming down. Thank you. Woo. All right, here we go. Come on.
Okay, it's me, ain't it? My bad. Let me go.
All right, come on.
What are we talking about? Okay.
Here we go.
All right, y'all. This one's in my lane. Oh no. Okay, not the agenda. When a woman says it's the little things that matter, what are some of those things? Y'all, whew. Okay. So this was another in the inbox hot topic conversation that got so much traction, and I was so excited to hear some of the comments from this post. And I think this is going to, I know this is in line with what we've been talking about the last few weeks, as far as how well we communicate, how thoroughly we communicate what it is that we need, and our expectations of each other within our relationships. And often what we think is the thing or what they like, we generally find it. We can often find out, no, I mean, that's sweet, but that ain't the thing that I need you to do like that. Like, that doesn't do it that way. The little things are often the things that I realized after reading the comments that are they are little things. You know what I mean? The sweetest, most non performative, like big dramatic things for a lot of people. I was very I was surprised by some of the comments that I saw in a sweet way, like, oh, that's cute, you know. And I thought to myself, this is not nearly as dramatic as we see when we ask in different ways, when it's proposed differently, when it's asked differently. What is it that we want? What are the things that make you swoon? What are the things that you look for? They're not often the things that were showing up on this post. So I thought that was interesting just in my reading. For me, little things are just that. I am very, my love language is acts of service. That is like my top love language, because I'm hard-headed and I don't like to ask for things. I'm one of them. I'm a Shira type of chick, as my husband likes to sometimes lovingly refer to me as. He says, yeah. So if you are tuned in enough to me to see that there's a need, or that there's something that I'm doing that could be done, and you just go in and do that thing for me, next level appreciation from me. Like that, I'm over the moon looking for ways to go out of my way to show you, like, oh, that was dope, like, thank you. So those things like that are really important to me, you know, making things lighter overall for me. I like cuddles, hugs, you know, Pepsi is my thing, you know, little things like that, thoughtful. I'm not, I like nice things, but I'm not really a extravagant person. Like at 38 years, I bought my first Coach bag, like my big girl bag, for my birthday. Like that was the first ever expensive bag that I'd ever purchased for myself or allowed someone else to purchase for me. I told people, don't buy me no $300 damn bag. Like, you can give me $300. Like, you know what I mean? But do not go buy a bag, you know, and spend that much money. But like, those, so how much or the name of it, that is not big for me. in any realm, a little thing or a big thing. Like those don't really impress me like that. I'm a thoughtful person. So little things equate to big for me. Period. And I learned a lot of women are that way. I saw that show up a lot. Like, yeah, I take care of the big things, but I don't really need a lot of money being spent or noise being made to say that you're doing for me. Did you get that from the comments on your post? Did you see that on your in your shares?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I read that. I got that, but the critic in me was like had to process that well, because in my mind, let me say, so I think for me, I read that and was like, okay, if I wash the dishes, those types of things, I'm good. But I think I had to say no. They still want the other things, the non-big things too.
Mm-hmm.
But these things, I think, are they just saying just have a similar value to them. So, if we're looking at this in the terms of sports, like you ain't got to get up and hit a home run every time. Sometimes they appreciate the singles and doubles,
Yep.
they appreciate the home run. So it's like, okay. So once I processed it, I was like, okay, I can get this, especially, to your point, somebody who's, if you're doing it in their love language, because it matters to me too. So as a man, so I can imagine, that it would matter to women.
Yep. Because I often think that some men get confused with, or some people, because I've met some women who are built this way also, who are kind of wired this way, but they feel if my appreciation is saved for one or two really, really big times throughout the year, you should be okay with those accumulated acts of appreciation to carry me throughout all the rest of the times of the relationship. And I don't think that's always realistic. Rarely is that realistic for the way needs work. I don't know a way to say that, because if that is the only way that you are happily serving your partner, when it's big and showy and see all of it at once, then it's really, that begins to make me question, who is that for? Is it really out of appreciation if that's the only time? You know what I mean? Like if every other time, if a person were to ask for something to be done or do it a different way, or can I have some of this at this time, or this, it would be nice. Well, I do all of that during, don't you know, on your birthday, I do that, but
yeah.
What about all the rest of the days? I'm just supposed to wait on it.
This is, to me, goes to what we'll talk about a little bit later too, when we talk about, when it comes to value. We're having the value conversation. I think that people, when we do that, it's usually an issue of I'm doing this not because I see value in it, or I know you see value in it, but I'm doing this because I just want, I just want to be responsible, do the responsible thing. The responsible thing is, on your birthday, I'm supposed to get you something. On Valentine's Day, I'm supposed to do this. You know what I mean? Like, I do those things, but this other stuff, because I don't necessarily feel like either A, I'm getting the equivalent, or B, that like this is just something I enjoy doing, then that's a problem. And I think that's the problem right there. Is more so is that why
I agree with that.
We're again, what's the deeper reason of doing it? I don't do things for Jamie because I don't do things for her to win points, even though I hope I get some points for doing them.
Right.
But that's not the reason I do it. I do it because, first of all, I want to make her day easier, and I also recognize there are other places that she does the same for me. And if she didn't, then now I have again, this brings this value thing. Now I have to reassess, am I really properly evaluating what's being done, Or am I just now being selfish and looking at things from the perspective of I'm only doing this to get what I want, or I'm doing this to try to manipulate a response, or I'm doing this because I want to look good at somebody. Like you said, now why am I doing this? So it comes to that. Mm-hmm. So it's almost it's removing that. And like you said just now, saying I am a servant. I'm a servant, and even if I don't feel, and then if I don't feel that, I still have to serve, because that's my role as being a member of this team. So it's a whole lot of, like, I think when we start looking at the little things, we have to realize, like, those little things can become big things if they're done consistently and they're done well and they're done.
Those little things help make it easier to do the big things when you're hard. And I think that's vice versa for men and for women.
So when you're hard?
When you're hard. When it's hard to love you, when it's hard to see the good, the sweet, the care, the gentle, the grace, the person that I look up googly-eyed at, those moments where you went out of your way to think of me without reciprocity in that real-time exchange, and because you rock with me. Like, I see you and I want you to smile today, and that's just what I want. Those moments. Huh?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think most people ever really recognize how hard it is to be with them sometimes.
No, they don't.
I think most people are deceived.
We all think everyone should just be absolutely elated to love us every day.
Yeah, like I'm good. What do you mean? Why would you? No, player. Like, and I have to check myself on that sometimes. Like, dude, being with you is hard, and and just because everybody in my world, treats it like it's my world, does not always mean that it is easy for the people around me to love me, because that could be difficult. And I think having to remember that is what makes it easier to, again, like you said, to approach this properly. I'm going to cry. It's just stupid.
I see you, bro. Got you.
I think we just we have a very inflated sometimes sense of self. And I think that if we actually really if we really knew the truth of just how, like, or put ourselves in like, there's this balance of, you want to be, obviously have good healthy self-esteem, but like this balance of, like, you're not overinflated, but you're not like deflating yourself. Like, you want to be like, listen, I know I could be difficult to, like, I'm a good person, but I know there's some things about me that are very difficult that people have to deal with, and to love me can be very hard sometimes. Like, you have to be honest with yourself, and and so then that way, those little things, like, are your point. Now it's like, man, and this person consistently treats me well, even when I'm a jerk. Like,
or just for no reason, because I love you. Like, I don't even know. We've gotten such a tit for tat, you for me, vice versa. Did I, like, I don't know why we put so many conditions on our care. And when we've already signed up for, committed to, agreed to, say, I care, we're going to care, we are caring, and a person says, I need, I would like, I desire, can we try? For there to be limits and, okay, well, what you got? And, that ain't big enough. Well, gotta give me, like, that. There is a natural level of that has to happen over time, but I don't know if we're being, I don't know if fair's the word. Realistic doesn't.
No, I think you're right. You're absolutely right.
But, like, it just doesn't match for how life happens.
It is. What I've said in the past is that you can't keep scoring relationships because we always give ourselves too many points for what we do and not enough to the other person. So when they come to ask us for something, it's like, wait a second. I'm up by 12.
Yeah.
You got to do something to
And
catch
they
up
show their
before I
part
can
and they're like,
back. And they're like, no, we actually even. You're like,
yeah.
so it's like, now I'm up by 6. What so
Yep.
we've got these trade-offs, these, like I said, these, he called them tallies, but like these things, these numbers in our head that we think that we really like. I'm like, you ain't got enough credit. Your account's overdrawn right now. You're asking for something that's outside of the range of the balance that's in your love account right now, sir. So, like, that's just what we do.
Back over here in your pack.
Yeah, you in overdraft status right now. You need to wait till some payroll deposits go through before you start asking for stuff. But we do that, and then which is what that is. Your point is, why do we do that when we're asking, when we signed up for it? The other part of it is when most people sign up for it, they're not signing up for the worst part. It's the better part. They're not signing up for we're not signing up to, we don't even think about that. If you really think, like, we don't go into it going, there's going to be some times I'm really going to hate this person. We just gonna love each other, and they always gonna be do for me, and I'm always gonna do for them. No,
you're not. No, you're not. You're not always gonna want to.
No.
For sure. Even if you do, you're not gonna always want to.
No. There's gonna be some days you're gonna want to drug their Kool-Aid.
Yep.
And it's gonna be some days they gonna want to smother you in your sleep.
Get in the car, keep on going.
And some days that you just got to turn up the radio and y'all ain't gonna want to talk. Like, it's that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's up. Hey,
those little things add up to huge, huge, huge things.
Yep. I had an employee tell me one time, this 10, 15 years ago, he told me, he's the one that told me I was doing it. He was like, he said, in your mind, he said, you do that to us. I said, what are you talking about? He's like, you keep score. He was like, and if we're in the plus, you'll let us do stuff. But if we're in the minus, I'm like, I probably do. I don't, but in my mind, I was like, I could really foresee me doing something crazy like that because I'm analytical. But nevertheless, our scoring is terrible, and we should stop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like you said, just love somebody.
Just love somebody.
Love them. Just love them. Not in an abusive way, but love them.
We make that so hard. That's what's become the hardest about relationships. Not none of this other stuff that we keep saying is hard. It ain't money. Money's hard. But like, we could even have better money conversations if we led from a different place of love when we have them.
Absolutely.
Because they're hard enough as it is just being money conversations because it's money. But like, if we lead them from a place of we're in this hard money conversation together, like this is a hard spot for us both, as opposed to how did you get me in this hard spot? Like, now, granted, if that is the truth of the situation, and one person didn't get you into the hard spot, but like a lot of the time we just come into it that way in these situations. We're not giving the grace of actually caring and loving for the person.
Nope.
So, yep.
No, we're not. KG says if you take the Christian vows, it talks about for better or for worse. Yeah, I agree. I just think the problem is most of us never really, when we hear for better or for worse, we don't really understand how worse really is. Yep. So I think it's because we even have our limits on our worse.
Because that's how we end up saying I'm good. Too much.
Well, I'm cool on this, but if you do this. That's too worse. So, all right, let's keep it moving. So we don't have I didn't pull up image for this, but let's talk honey pot.
Oh, okay. All right, y'all. we're gonna talk honey pot. I'm gonna try and get it all bullet pointed for you as best I can. So sometimes I believe last week, I'm gonna say latter part of last week, there was a video that went viral from a consumer. On TikTok, where she was where she was talking about the ingredients for honey pot feminine products. Okay, honey pot, for those of you who don't know, gained mass popularity. I want to say 6, maybe 7 or so years ago. It's kind of a newish company for creating organic or cleaner feminine products for women who were having issues accessing tampons, Tampax, washes, things of that nature that were beneficial to women's genitalia. Okay. So her products were amazing. She shared a story of how she had been struggling herself for a while. She, in a dream, was visited by her ancestors and they gave her these recipes for these products. She used these recipes, they worked. She then decided to create the Honey Pot Co. and voila. She was brought to the forefront when Target brought her a part of one of their incubator programs, because Target is Team Black people from their corporate perspective. So they have these incubators that they do, and her Honey Pot was one of those businesses. They did the little commercial. Commercial goes viral. White folks were not happy because of the story that she told about being a Black woman and her issues and all of this. And it was very much highlighted that it was all Black. So Black women doing what we do. We put our cape on, we got our coins out, and we went to Target and we sold sis out. Not just once, not twice, like 4 months. You could not get Honey Pot for months after all of the uproar went on. And not only for a trending situation, you ain't gonna come for our sis who's getting her shot, the stuff worked. Okay. So not only did she sell out, she continued to sell out over time after the trending went down. It was good stuff. Okay. So pandemic comes and goes ish. And here we are at last week, and sis is at she's got the prior product. We're going to say past Honey Pot, and then she's got a new Honey Pot product, and she is comparing the ingredients that are in these products. Okay, let's just say for numbers, ease of conversation, past Honey Pot product was made with 10 clean, pronounceable, easy, understandable, I can reach out and touch these generally ingredients. Today, Honey Pot, 50 new ingredients, multisyllabic words that I must Google and get phonetic. I need Alexa to tell me how to pronounce words that do not sound like things that I should be putting on my girlfriend. Okay, on my Honey Pot. So she, sis in the video then says she has this app that compares ingredients. This app says old Honey Pot good, new Honey Pot bad. She goes viral comparing the products. What is this? Then in the comments, it's 10,000 plus women saying, yeah, I got some of that. It ain't really the same. It ain't, what is this? What's going on? So then rumors get going that sis has sold her business, that she's playing with the product. The ingredients are different. She done sold out. Sold out became all kinds of different creative meanings. Did she sell out the business? Is she selling out for the man and trying to target more? What is it? Okay. Nobody knew what was really going on. So this video gets shared, new videos get made, think pieces are published. There are videos going viral from the gossip post. There's on Shade Room. Like, everybody is talking about what the Honey Pot is doing. So we're going to get to Monday. There's a quick video, I believe, that was posted, or maybe late last week, I think it was. There was a quick 3-minute or so video saying, hey, y'all, we're here. We see y'all see the new stuff. Yay, see the pretty package. Yeah, some ingredients have changed. Don't worry. It's all clean, all good. Nothing to see here, folks. Go out and buy the stuff. Have a good day. Okay, quick, like 3 minutes, 46 seconds for this video. Okay. Did not work. People were not going for the video. They shot the video down. Womp womp. Who wrote this? Did we say anything? What is this teleprompter conversation? What are these ingredients? What is this? What is happening? Didn't like it. Whole weekend goes by. Y'all know what can happen on social media in a weekend. Okay. Mm-hmm. Monday, the ish has hit all of the fans. The walls is dirty. Okay. The people covered. All right. It's done. It's going down. PR nightmare. Nobody knows what's going on, but everybody knows what's going on, if that makes sense. So then we get now a more in-depth 13-minute video, 13 minutes and some odd seconds of video, where she is straight out saying she is still in ownership of her company. They have not sold the company. Yes, they have changed the formulation of quite a few of the products for a good reason. She then goes on to give more explanation into what each of these ingredients are, why they're still safe, why they're necessary, how they benefit the business. She mentioned that she's run into some manufacturing, some shortage issues as far as supply and demand, all of those things that are not new concerns that we've heard from entrepreneurs who have been having issues throughout the pandemic. People still not going for it.
Nope.
I think the only thing that this video confirmed was that she didn't sell her business. All of the other things are still very much not going. The people are not going for it.
She went in depth about some of the changes in the product, like the different products, like some of the things that they added. She did.
She said that there's more longevity in some of the preservatives. Some of the things are better for your skin. The pH balancing factors are better. Like she's giving scientific rationale, and there have been other scientists who have identified the ingredients. They've given better breakdowns. I was actually tagged in one that was very thorough. Made a lot of sense. Yada yada.
Yeah.
And so yeah. I think that the main criticism that I don't think I know the main criticism that I have, and I think at the end of the day, when all of the emotions died down from her customers, the issue was she didn't tell them first.
Right.
She didn't say anything.
Right.
Everybody ain't Beyonce. Okay? Like everybody can't just drop new-ish at midnight and say no words and then it sells out by the morning. That's not how that works, especially when your story, your relationship, the intimacy
was built off of that
your brand has created with your consumers is built on us having these already vulnerable conversations about our lady parts. So when I've already bought into your thing that has taken care of my thing, and now you switch it up and you don't care to share, and I'm supposed to just be like, oh, okay, thanks, appreciate it. No, they feel some type of way about that. They feel some type of way about that. So from a business perspective, and being in the beauty industry, like when I read what was going on, I kind of knew what was going on. Either it was time to grow, or it was hard to find what she needed to do what she was doing. But how you do that, especially in the beauty world, make or break you. You gotta talk. You gotta talk. This could have gone so many different other ways had she just said something. Yep. So it's unfortunate. And I really do like, I feel so like I almost wished that the business had been sold. I was telling you this before we got on live, because had the business been sold, then I think she would have been able to somewhat recover faster, because it could have been covered up in the transition thing. Maybe she didn't have a choice. They made it happen because they was trying to still get as much. We would have conspiracy theoried a way for sis to be safe. But for the fact that this was an in-house job, that you just didn't think about us, you didn't think we would care, you didn't think it would matter, you didn't think we would notice. Yeah. It felt slick. Like, why were you trying to do? Why you just do this? Like, if you talk to us, you know. And so it was. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask the question. Do you feel like, I get specifically that this company leveraged, I'm not going to say use because that's not I don't want to say it in that context, but leveraged the relationship with the public, with women, specifically with Black women. Do you think that that's why she should have communicated that well? Because I don't think when other brands make changes like that, like, do we have that same expectation, or was the expectation just of her because of how she has been supported through the communication? Like, it would be like, and this is an example I'll use, like Tabitha Brown could get on, hey, sugar, and say whatever. We're like, okay, cool. But so we expect a certain thing from her because of how she's communicated with us normally. So if she did something different, we would be like, whoa. So is that, do you think, what's causing the uproar, or do you think it's just the change period?
No, her business was built on clean, recognizable safe products for us. The whole, like, up until, like, the story was on the boxes of the whole ancestors came into the dream. I go into my kitchen and I make it up, and then voila, magic, here we are. And then look at our packaging. It's clean. It's only, you can read everything. You know what it is. Da 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 da. This is our commitment to you to continue to provide, safety for your, all of your lady parts, and, do da 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 da, and all of this, all of these things. That was the message. That was the branding. And we became it was the sisterhood model. We are all, now I can't say that any of us would be able to pick her specifically out of any other woman in a mall or in a shopping center. She has not, in my opinion, become the face of her brand, aside from those spots for commercials, PR, when something happens, interviews and things. However, we have a relationship with Honey Pot and their story and their why. Their why was our why. So now when you change the foundation of your why, our why we rock with you, because now if you got some of the same stuff that everybody else got that caused everything to go red and itchy and crazy and it didn't work, and now you're using the same preservatives, the same pH balancing, whatever the F it was that they used that didn't work. Now I don't trust you. I don't trust you because we didn't talk about this. And I also really don't trust this. And I mentioned this to you earlier. The first video she meant, the 3-minute one. She said something about some feedback that was happening, that she did some surveys and marketing research, and they got feedback from customers that said that this was needed and they wanted this and they wanted that. And then we get this. So either she surveyed the wrong sisters or I'm calling BS. I don't believe that there was any survey that would have given her enough data that would have supported this type of uphaul. I would have much rather her have just said, hey, y'all, COVID done hit. Like, it got us. Like, we tried to make it through, but at this point, for us to continue to give you what you need, this is what needs to happen. And then possibly they would have told her, hey, we'll wait. Don't rush, baby. Do what you got to do. If it lasts 3 months, send them people 3 months worth, and we'll buy it out, and we'll wait 3 more until it comes here, because that's what we've been doing. Like, that's why I said, like, she's been consistently selling out. Her customers were comfortable with that, so to speak. Like, they had made a way to make it so that they could still support her product even through the need of the scarcity of it based on what it was. So I don't know if she played that right, just from a marketing perspective, from a business perspective, from that relationship, because she already was in a sweet spot. She was in a sweet spot. So I don't know if maybe you said better. Maybe that's a contract negotiation you need to have with your buyers, not with your buyers. Like, we weren't the buyers that should have been cut in that deal, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think they should set up better expectations with the people she's doing business with, not us.
Yeah, I think the communication, like the longer one that she did, would have been leading with that, with the information, not like the information in that would have been really super helpful, because she, yeah. But then as I'm saying, I'm wondering if it really would have been helpful, because if a large part of why the product itself was supported was because of the all natural stuff, and the things that are added cannot be under the all natural brand, then would we have still been at the same spot? So, or maybe not as bad.
Right, because they bought in initially because that's our sis, and we're gonna give her a shot. They stayed bought in because it worked. Yeah. So now it's not that they just mad. This is not just I'm mad because you changed it. No, I'm mad that you changed it. It don't work the same, and you didn't say nothing. That is the stack. So this it's not just if you like, they wouldn't have been, even if she would have said I'm going to change it, she would have got some push. She would have got some people saying, but why? No, no. You know what I mean? And that would have given her time to have more conversations prior to launch, to figure out, is this really, like, go live, ask some questions, like, figure out what that go to the people. So that They know that you're
Well,
at least thinking about it. This was this.
I don't. So I'm thinking about that too, and I know from a like a corporate marketing perspective, a lot of times, and we've done surveys and stuff before, and those can be hard as to get people to respond to. So I do wonder. Again, we're not behind. We don't know what she's done, but
Right.
I'm intrigued as to their process, and I'm also intrigued because I feel like a lot of times for us, especially in our community, we take ownership of products and things that we probably really shouldn't take ownership, that often stifle the growth of some of our businesses.
Yep.
Now we don't like to admit that, but like again, I would have had a problem with her if the product still would have worked and was still natural, and as she claims that it is, then that's fine. Now if it's not
Yep.
natural and you claim it is natural, that's problematic. But
Mhm.
if it's still an all natural product, you have to make some changes. You say that, and then okay, cool. But I think that sometimes we're expecting black owned businesses to give us something that will keep them small businesses, instead of putting us in position to compete, and recognizing in this sector there are 4 companies that pretty much own the whole thing.
Mhm.
So if I'm trying to compete on that level,
Yep.
like how do I do that? And right now we're in a season where, like, as we enter into, we know from an economic standpoint, when we start entering into periods of recessions, like that's the time when people buy.
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know. I'm just trying to feel like I'm trying to consider, like, if she does change, again, assuming everything is still,
Mhm.
it's still what it says it is. If it's organic, what,
No,
whatever.
it's not organic. She's saying that it's safe. It's
Okay.
safe. It's still safe and will provide the same results.
Yeah, yeah. And now from the other, so I'm just saying that if those are all true,
Mhm.
then what I'm saying. But now, if those are not true,
Mhm.
which we've seen some of the comments that said don't work the same, blah blah blah, then that's a totally separate issue that we now have to address. That now your product has changed, and you didn't articulate it. It's changed. I didn't find I was like, so, you know what I mean? Like
I
there's
completely
you know,
agree.
there's a
Yes.
difference of those, and I think that we as consumer on the consumer end have to say, like, at some point we're going to change. Like every business is going to change, and
This was honestly my initial critique of this situation. When
yeah,
I shared it, I did a reshare from someone else about this situation before I learned that she had not, in fact, sold the business. And it
mhm,
was one of the reference points of the post was like, so what? Like, if she sold it, okay. Like, are we just supposed to stay in the kitchens and stay small forever? Like, is
mhm,
that our goal for the businesses, that we get to the point, like right to the peak of making it big, and then we like, but no, 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 no,
yeah,
don't you do it, so we take success of others very personally, and it stifles that long-term growth, and that is something that we as consumers need to deal with. We
yeah,
discuss it every time it happens, and it's not always because the product isn't the same or
right,
it's less than. It's
right.
just because you sold it, and now
It's not.
what?
It's not
It's
in
not
control. It's
yours,
not ours anymore.
anymore. Right,
Which
right.
I totally get the wanting the ownership, but I think we also have to be honest to say that there comes a point as a business owner where you have to make that decision of, if I'm gonna battle Goliath,
Yep.
do I have 5 smooth stones, or am I about to get my head cut off, and I need to go ahead and join teams with,
Mhm.
join the team with somebody who could help me compete against another Goliath?
Yeah.
Because that's really what happens, is you get to a point where it's like, I've taken this company as far as I can go, and now that we're at a certain revenue amount, I can no longer compete because company over here has 10 times, 20 times, 100 times more resources than I have, and I'll never be able to compete. And I'm tired from getting it to this point.
Mhm. Yep. Because let me tell y'all something.
It's tiring trying to grow.
I know y'all love some elegance by design, okay? I love elegance by design. I love preparing elegance by design. All of the things that I've done to create this amazing product line that you all love so much. But after making Sexy Shay for a weekend to prepare for a sale or a vending event, both of my hands swell up where I can't even write my damn name. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't walk to my bed to get the rest that I need by myself. You know what I mean? So like there is a certain level of scaling that is necessary for true success. And if ever I were to be offered the opportunity to not only broaden a brand, be a part of taking elegance by design, not only just here in Oklahoma City, not just in the US, but globally, and then possibly be able to be blessed financially enough to then do some of the other dreams, the other big work. Y'all know I got so much more in me than Sexy Shay. Like, so to know that I have built a baby, you know, birthed a baby, raised a baby big enough that a big daddy wants to say, okay, we got it. And take that thing, and then there's still integrity behind that sale, and then I'm now blessed enough to be able to go and create more opportunity to feed to now I'm free now to go and put all this in this innovation, all this networking, all this connections, all this know-how, all these rooms I've been in. I can go back to the hood. I can go back to ICE. I can go back to my roots, marketplace. I can have me some seminars. I can bring me up some babies and teach them how to whip. You know what I mean? And that is what our businesses should be doing. And we should be congratulating that. We should be celebrating that. That's the wealth that we say we try. Where does the wealth come from, y'all? Where is it supposed to come from? Reparations. We waiting on reparations. Reparations is gonna save us.
Sinead's a very good question. So Q just gave you one part of the answer. She said, how do we get any leverage by ownership as a community?" So it's really two things. It's either we stay on the production side, but we sell to larger people.
Yep.
So that's how you get so you own it, but you're not a. Here's the problem. The problem is 95%, it's 95% of the small businesses in our community are one person businesses.
Yep.
So we don't have any ownership. And most of those are making less. Actually, like almost all of them are making less than $100,000 a year.
Way less.
So we did a thing here. There's a thing actually here right now happening in Grand Rapids where they found they started a program for businesses that were making between 100 and 250. 100,000 and 250,000 to get them over the 250. And when they surveyed out of all of the businesses in Grand Rapids that were making between 100 and 250, it was like 10 of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? Like it's just not a lot of us. So number one, so we do that. So we do that and we support those until they're big, and then we continue to support them. The other thing is you do it by buying the stock. Mm-hmm. That's the ownership. The ownership is you buy the stock, and when you buy the stock, you sit on the board. You put a person on the board, and now you have control. So if we took all of that money, we took all of our money, a good chunk of our money in our community, let's look at like what Shaquille O'Neal did. We take a bunch of money. I got a bunch of money. I'm going to, opportunity comes up to buy Papa John's or to invest in Papa John's. So he invests in Papa John's, and as a result of him giving them his money or his money, the money that's in his group, he gets a seat on the board. And so now he gets a seat on the board, and he gets to go in and tell them how to change their business. He has control.
Yep. We've got to become more educated as consumers and less emotional as consumers. And that would help us really support each other, because I also believe, and this is a soapbox for a whole nother day, but we also have a very warped perception of what support is as it relates to small businesses. We have set such an extremely low bar for ourselves as far as what support looks like, and have the nerve to be like arrogant about it. As consumers when it comes to small business. So when I saw this story unfolding, I thought, we got a lot of nerve. We got a lot of nerve in a lot of ways, to be as emotional and as upset as we are about other people and how they manage their livelihood and their success and the work that they actually put in, their investments. So yeah, how we support and our ownership of success. So it's
but it goes back to the point of, like you said, like there has to be a level of communication. But again, it's ownership. It's like, how do we, like, owning does not mean I get to, like, my level of support doesn't mean ownership.
No.
Like we have equated those two together. Let me see. We made Louis V a top name brand. We have to support us. But the interesting part is we made them but how do we make them a name brand? Interesting enough, we made them a name brand through our music. Because we wasn't owning it and people were buying it before. We just made it popular.
Even the people who were wearing it that made it popular weren't owning it at the time. They were being given it to make
us buy it.
We were manipulated, and we have done so. But yes, to your point, we did. They manipulated our influence to make Louis V what they are right now. Yep. That crossover was a manipulation of our specific target market. But we won't manipulate our influence within our own market to elevate our own brands.
Not as a whole.
And that's the problem.
Yep. KG says crowdfunding is the key. I think crowdfunding is a huge key. I absolutely agree with that. Yeah. Shanae earlier asked, does us not owning any shipping, warehousing, packing, etc. have a lot to do with it? Yes and no. I mean, it's a part of the supply chain, absolutely. So yes, but I think it's more so we don't really manufacture anything. So like first of all, we don't manufacture anything, and we're the only community. This is Winfred Burns' opinion. We are the only community who doesn't have a thing. Like every other community, every other non-white community has a thing, like, and we laugh about it and make fun of it, but we don't recognize they're purposely doing this. You think they purposely just started coming here and started doing nails? You think they purposely just came over here and started buying all the gas stations, or they purposely started doing convenience stores, or purposely started buying up all the that blasted Dunkin' Donuts? And like, you think this was not, or they purposely just came over here and said, oh, we're gonna, accidentally said we're gonna get over here and get in construction. No, this was a plan to build a community and said, hey, we're going to do this, build our own economic sector. So now when they need this, they got to come to us because we got it sold up. We don't have a thing.
Yep. And from the beauty industry perspective, that warehousing, shipping, packaging, the access, that is an issue, because there is a community, like from beauty supplies and for a lot of our the small Black business who would like to create the products that we need, that are healthy, that are good for our bodies, our hair, our existence, that we have decided to create. The honey pots, the Elegance by Designs, the Milongos. These businesses are gate kept. We can't get access to the beauty supplies, the it's hard to get in with the Targets, the Walmarts, those places, but just our local beauty supplies. If there's a sister who wants to open a beauty supply and do it herself to provide shelf space for the Elegance by Designs, Milongos, Honey Pots, etc., even they run into issues gaining access to the bare minimum to run a beauty supply. Hair, Kanekalon that they got stacked to the damn ceilings of boxes of Kanekalon, and every beauty supply in every hood is literally taller than the people who work there. Okay, but we don't have access to that same pricing, those same manufacturers. All of that is like locked away. Yeah. So even when we get access to the vendor lists, there's still middlemen that you have to work through that are them, that gives you so much access to and a special pricing that ain't always they pricing, but it's special because it ain't they pricing. You know what I mean? So like there are certain industries that still we have struggles because we don't own every part of that. Yep. So, and yes, Shanae, Sean King's hoodies, put that up there. Yeah. And they were overpriced, so to speak, for his target, who he was targeting. Hella high. They were like one of the t-shirts like $150, and like the hoodies were stupid. But he was sourcing everything from all black vendors and all over the world, and it was the best cotton and this, that, and the third.
What was his markup?
I don't know. I don't think he gave all. I don't think I went out. He gave all of that because he was ranting about it, and but the thing was like communication again.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying because I can totally understand, because even when I'm doing mine, like to do all of that, we've had the conversation. I'm looking at mine, and I'm like, in order to make a decent profit, or to give the same profit margin that as industry standard, I'm like, shoot, I got to price these things at something I know my target market ain't gonna buy. So I don't know what he was doing, but it works. People buy $100 t-shirts. People buy $200 hoodies that don't say nothing on them. You know what I mean? They do that, but you can't market to those products to the same people that you're asking to submit to your civil rights people are not your $500 hoodie people. Those aren't the same target. And I think we've gotten lazy in how we are trying to acquire our businesses. You know what I mean? You can have multiple streams of income, don't mean they all supposed to end in the same ocean. You know what I mean? Like these streams may not always lead to the same end body of water, but for them to keep streaming, you know what I mean? Because he could have had a really, really good thing had he never said that this is my t-shirt thing. Put someone else in charge, have them run it, put it to the people that have the thing going, make your money, feed your civil rights campaign, grow on and grow, but we got to let everybody know this is the thing that I'm doing. See, hi, look at me. This is my new thing. This is my new thing. This is my new. Everybody, we over communicate the wrong stuff and under communicate the necessary things that people need to know to actually get you to success. Okay, we got to go. I think he should have been able to do it, but I understand the point.
Not I think the people who barely scraping up $10 to get you.
No. I hear what you're saying. I think that given what he does is more so the issue than that. But yeah,
he is problematic to a lot of people. That's why I say he should have never put his name on that. Like nobody should have ever known that was Sean's line.
Because after coming off the heels of how you get,
they don't trust them with money. I'm not finna send
your house and all that stuff. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Even if that's untrue, like none of that might not even be true, but that is the perception of people. He should have never put his name on nothing that was not for the people.
Yeah, like I don't know the story, but yeah, I can see that. I wish I would tell me though. I'm selling my shirts, not for $250 though.
Because I ain't gonna let you. You won't be selling those shirts for $250. Not to the same people that
I might make it $250. Then again, my other prices is probably too high for a lot of people too. But nevertheless,
we got to find our sweet spots. Everybody ain't the customer for everything, and that's okay. And we also have to understand that people don't need to change our prices to fit us. Sometimes we just don't need to buy that yet. It's still somebody that you can afford. It just ain't them.
Yeah, because I never heard of Rolls Royce being talking about. They just like, hey, I know we ain't selling to them folks. We good.
Certain folks, you don't even see commercials for them because people who watching TV can't afford it. they ain't watching TV. The people who want our cars aren't watching TV. They go to the dealership and get our cars. That's just how that works.
Yep. We hear about them in rap songs.
Yes. Yes. So that's a homework for us to do. That's homework for us. That ain't. Yeah, they doing what they supposed to do. That's marketing.
Yep. All right. Final words. We got to go.
Ooh.
We overtime today.
We are, but it was good.
Still didn't get to everything, but that's all right.
I feel like a broken record. I need to use another phrase, but it's just I don't know why we're so afraid of talking to each other. If we are doing what we're supposed to do, if everything is so 100, if we so real, if it's so true, if this is me, why are we hiding? Why are we going through so much effort to hide who we are? If you don't care what nobody think, if I'm me no matter what, you're gonna have to accept me who I am. I love all this other stuff. I'm so together. Why is it that nobody knows us? Nobody gets it. Nobody can see it. Nobody understands. I just really think we need to create some space to have some real conversations.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm hoping that happens, but like in a few weeks.
Come back. Y'all come back next week. We got some more conversation we gonna have.
Yeah, we do.
Listen, y'all. I'm just feeling this. I've been having some really challenging conversation with men lately, and I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving it. So, yeah,
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm seeing some things I never thought I would see. So I'm good. We gonna get there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get there. Good show. Thank y'all for tuning in. This has been really good.
Shout out to the comment section tonight. Yeah. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, y'all been riding too, of course. Mm-hmm. Of course. So we appreciate you all. As always, if you have not hit that share button, y'all do that for us. We say we are made to be together. It should not be this hard. Yeah, I think I agree with you, KG. I agree with you, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there because, again, I think we're getting to the place where we recognize the real need for each other. So I appreciate you, of course. I appreciate you. Yes, come back next week, Mama Dean. Speaking of which, do I need to send the smoke signal out? So, the mother.
Oh no, they just chilling. They good. Okay. They probably sleep or something.
Okay.
I talked to my daddy earlier today. We was texting and stuff. We good.
Because I look forward to them.
You had me pausing for a minute. I'm like, what?
Smoke signal. I need to go knock on the. Y'all all right over here?
Yeah, she would love that though if you slid in her DMs and said, "Mama, I'm gonna need you to come on back to the comment section."
Like, my comment section. What's up? What's up? You know, my mother would pop on here in a second and say good night. So
good night, mother. Yeah, but I'll make sure they in the spot next week for sure. Because that's 2 weeks now that they've been missing in action. They was out socializing, I think, last weekend. They was being fast, so we ain't gonna penalize them for last week.
All right. They can have last week off. Come on back next week. Come on home now. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Have a good week. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week, same time. And would you take this long, sweet road?